stuff. So we're going to open the show. We're going to talk a couple minutes, and then I'll bring you in here. Let's go. Use the restroom real quick.
Welcome to the state of PA football, as PA Football News presents its weekly look at high school football across the state.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets held out of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in.
Did you know there are 555 total high school football programs in the state? Did you also know there are a total of 58 college programs ranging from D1 to D3 in the state of Pennsylvania? Whether you're a bulldog, a lion, a crusader, an eagle, or a millionaire, we got you covered.
You already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die.
Here at PA Football News, we got you covered. And now, your host, Billy Splain.
All right, here we are. We are live at Parma Pizza on Haynes Road in York. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first edition in 2023 of the State of PA Football, presented to you by the Funding Zone, St. Luke's, and PAFootballNews.com. I'm Billy Splain, your host and the owner of PA Football News. Over here to my left, I'm breaking two new guys in. They're both nervous. They're both not ready to go. But the guys, introduce yourselves. They're interns for PA Football News.
I'm Josiah Pletcher. I'm going to be covering specifically Hempfield High School in District 3.
I'm Lucas Miller. I'll be covering the York area.
So these are my two new interns. And guys, welcome to the show. We're throwing you right underneath the bus here to get the season started. They've never done this before, so we're going to guide them. We're going to help them. And internships are a big part of our program at PAFootballNews.com. We have right now at least 15 people working in the journalism / media field after being an intern at PA Football News, and we're very proud of that, and I'm very proud to have you guys here. Why don't you go ahead real quick and tell everybody a little bit about yourself there, Josiah.
All right. I am a senior at Hempfield High School. I play volleyball in the spring, so that's my sport, but I love all sports, so I'm a big football and baseball guy. Eagles and Phillies are my thing. Really, I'm interested in going into the sports media world, and I saw this opportunity, and so I just gave Billy a call and learned more about it, and I got right into it, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really looking forward to just getting a chance to go to my own high school football team's games and write a little bit about them. So
I'm Lucas Miller. I'm a sophomore at Millersville University. I'm a major in communications and sports media there. I work for the athletics department at Millersville, covering football, basketball, field hockey. And in my free time, I usually like to go to their games and go to my high school games back home in Berks County.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and welcome to the show, guys, and welcome to PA Football News. The 2023 season is here. I know you guys weren't with us last year, but for me, it is amazing that we are getting ready to play football this Friday night. I'm really excited, and what I'm real excited about being here in York is we got a special guest coming up. Ron Coursey, the athletic director, was out west. He's now in the east. Now he's even a little farther east. So he's over here at York Suburban, the athletic director, and we've been working together for, 5 years or something like that, putting together a showcase at the beginning of the year. And this year we have the Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic over at Suburban, and it's going to be great. We've got 5 games and some really good teams. We're going to talk about that later. That's what this trophy is right here, and we're real excited to be here, and we're real excited to have that. Right now I want to take a quick break. I want to hear from a couple of our sponsors, and we have to pay the bills, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. We really appreciate Parma Pizza for having us here. We're going to be down here 3 more times this year at different locations of Parma Pizza. So if you happen to be in York tonight between 6 and 8, stop by. We're at 1041 Haynes Road. We're at Parma Pizza. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Sikorsky from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
The Cobalt Plus headset system delivers proven performance along with more users, more flexibility. That's why coaches across Pennsylvania trust Cobalt Plus. CoachCom makes tough headset systems for tough teams. We build headsets to help teams win. Call or click to learn more about Cobalt Plus from the proven leader in football communications.
Here, and we're ready to get the season started, guys. And again, I want to welcome you to PA Football News. Tell me a little something about what you're excited for this season, guys.
I'm really excited just to get a chance to write some news about football because I've never done this before, and it's a great opportunity to learn something new and take my love for the game of football and use it in something that I might be able to do in my future.
Pretty much going off of that, I'm excited to get out to some new locations. I've only really covered stuff at my high school back home at Conrad Weiser and at my college right now, Millersville. So I'm looking forward to going out and seeing some new stadiums, getting to know some new people at different schools and cover, different games around different districts.
I know I have some games that I'm really eyeballing, and one of them is going to happen on Saturday. Do you guys have any particular games you're eyeballing that you're excited to go see? I know Hempfield has a couple of good battles coming up.
I'm really excited for Hempfield-Manheim Township. That's our rivalry game. And last year, we got the game in the regular season, but then in playoffs got completely smacked. So I'm really excited to see. We get them at home this year, so I'm excited to cover that game.
It's good that you guys get a second chance at Manheim, and it's also really nice that I know he wanted to leave originally, but it's good to have David Palepile
Definitely
still at Hempfield. That's a good thing, right?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I know you wrote a little bit about him.
Yeah, so he's going he's committed to USC. So he's originally from Alaska. He moved to Hempfield as a freshman, so he knew nobody, and he make friends quickly when you're that good at football. But and he originally after his junior season, he was thinking about going to IMG, but he decided to stay home and be with his family and finish his senior season at Hempfield.
So, Lucas, you're over at Millersville. You're in the middle of a bunch of really good football schools. Is there any school in particular that you're looking forward to covering this year?
Well, I was actually pretty excited for is the one that we were talking about earlier was the Rose Bowl Classic this weekend. So I was doing some research on those teams, and I was looking at those matchups, and I'm pretty excited for those games this weekend.
Yeah, there's some good games. There's some really good games there. And, a lot of people might say something. So, anyway, Dan, bring the Rose Bowl thing up with the games on it. Let's talk about the games real quick. Here's some pre-game information we have for you. But the matchups are really good matchups this year. I'm real excited to see the schools there's only one I really don't know a lot about, but we're going to talk a little bit more about the Rose Bowl here when we get Ron Coursey up. But what I want to do is I want to talk about what's coming up this season compared to last season. Last season was crazy, and it ended in spectacular fashion at Cumberland Valley. And we had some really good football games in Cumberland Valley. We got our rankings out this year, and no surprise at all, at the top of every class in our rankings are the defending champions, because they were all, believe it or not, young teams last year, and they all seem to have all their guns back. So I'm excited to see that this year and how that all plays out. We made a big announcement yesterday. I'm also on the Big 33 committee, so we made a really big announcement about the Big 33. We got a new home for the Big 33. So let's pull that up and let's just let it out. Let's let the cat out of the bag then. The Big 33 is moving. The game is moving. We're going to Cumberland Valley. We're real excited about that. We do appreciate everything Bishop McDevitt did for us. They were a great host. The main reason we're moving the game is because we've outgrown the facility. Bishop McDevitt was a great facility, but Cumberland Valley has so much going on there, and we're just moving on, and we're going to become a part of that program there. The PIAA has their state championships there, and guys, the state championships were great last year at Cumberland Valley. That was an exciting atmosphere. They've got the big screen. The biggest plus for us is we get to have everything under one roof at Cumberland Valley, whereas at Bishop McDevitt we had to kind of move around a little bit. So that's why we moved the game away from Bishop McDevitt over to Cumberland Valley. And the other big news is the East-West games are also going to be held there. So that's exciting for me because we televise the East-West games. Well, I don't know. Is televised the correct word for what we're doing, or is it stream?
It's probably stream.
Yeah. I'm still old, I do the old terms, but that's going to be really exciting for us to be a part of that. I'm real excited, and I can't wait to go there, but I'm also excited just for the season. I can't wait for the season to get started. 2 more days, guys, 2 more days, and we're playing football. It's great. So we're going to take a commercial, and we're going to come back with Ron Coursey, the athletic director at York Suburban, and we are going to talk about the Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic. We'll be right back after these messages.
I would recommend becoming an official because you can feel like you're a part of a sport that you love.
We officiate for the athletes and for the sport that we love, and so as long as you keep them first, then
I would recommend becoming an official because you can feel like you're a part of a sport that you love.
we officiate for the athletes and for the sport that we love, and so as long as you keep them first, then it's going to be a great experience.
So the money I've made from officiating for the past few years, I've put all that money into savings to pay to finish my college education. In 6 months, when I complete that, I will not be in any debt.
Officiating the state championship and getting that call to officiate the state championship was an emotional thing for me, just because of what I've been through, you know, the ups and downs, and getting that call really meant a lot to me. Sometimes I see student athletes that I officiated years and years ago, and they say, "Man, you did a great job. Thanks for everything you've done."
Today's broadcast of the 38th Annual Leisure Lumber Classic is being brought to you by Snappy's Convenience Store and J.J. Powell Home and Commercial Heating and Supplies. Snappy's is a locally owned chain of convenience stores throughout central Pennsylvania, operating 12 locations from Lewistown to Clearfield and beyond. J.J. Powell has been servicing customers in the Clearfield Center and Mifflin counties for over 70 years. Snappy's has a large selection of freshly prepared food and drinks guaranteed to satisfy your mealtime needs. J.J. Powell offers the area's best heating oil price protection program with monthly payments and no cap or fees. All right, welcome back to Parma Pizza here on Haynes Road in York, PA. And sitting all the way down there to my left-hand side is a good friend of mine. We've been working for a long time together. Ron Coursey, the athletic director at York Suburban. Ron, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Like you said, we go way back to when we started this event back in Woodland Hills in Pittsburgh about 5-6 years ago. So excited to be here and talk about the new edition of what we're doing this year.
Yeah, I just want to make this clear to everybody. All 10 teams in the Rose Bowl Classic this year are real football teams. There are no fake football teams.
Yes, no Bishop Sycamore this year, which I'm looking for my royalty check when they do this documentary because they're using footage from that event. So I want a check from HBO.
Yeah, we need to get a check from them. Yeah, if they're using footage, they're probably using stuff that I did too. But, this has morphed into something really cool. Last year we did it at Chambersburg, and it was successful. We had some really good teams. And, Ron, we have some really good teams coming up this year, too. Dan, pull up that graphic there and tell them about the teams that are coming this year.
Absolutely. So like you said, I mean, we started years ago out in Pittsburgh. We did a Western PA versus everyone showcase where we had a Western PA team from District 7 play somebody from outside of the region. We did that for a couple of successful years out of Woodland Hills. And when I took the job at Chambersburg, we wanted to do something fresh. We wanted to kind of be innovative, start something new. So we came up with the Chambersburg Peach Bowl. I've said this repeatedly, shout out to Chambersburg. I had no idea until I lived in Chambersburg they were known for peaches. So it was just a natural fit, mirroring the college bowl game, doing the Chambersburg Peach Bowl. And we had a great lineup and great games. I'm from the Baltimore, Maryland area originally, so when the opportunity arose to move to York and take a job in York, it was perfect, being able to get closer to home. But I knew I wanted to keep the showcase going. But obviously we knew we couldn't do the Peach Bowl because...
But I will say the peaches were good.
The peaches were delicious.
They were
great.
Great.
Shout out to Chambersburg.
I ate like 20 of them.
The peaches were delicious. But unfortunately, that doesn't really resonate with people in York City, York County. So what we did is we stayed with the College Bowl theme, and we went with the York Rose Bowl. York being the White Rose City and being symbolic, the seal of the city of York has a rose in the middle of it. It just fit naturally. And so we were able to put together this great event with 5 great games, and we can go through each game, but I think bang for your buck, this is probably one of the better events that we've done over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, now, guys, did you guys know that York was famous for roses?
No, I didn't know.
Well, I mean, I've heard of the Lancaster Barnstormers, the baseball team right next to us. They have the Battle of the Roses with the York Revolution. So I guess I've kind of heard of that a little bit, but that's it.
So the history is actually Lancaster is the Red Rose City, York is the White Rose City, and the seal, the family that founded York City, their family crest has a rose in it. So that's just kind of the history, and that's why they do the Battle of the Roses between Lancaster and York, because it's red rose versus white rose.
All kind of information coming out here.
It's coming from a history major. Coming from a history major.
Yeah, all kinds of information. I never did. I don't think I ever asked you, because where are you from originally?
I'm from Warnersville, PA, so in Berks County, kind of near Reading a little bit.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's cool. So, Ron, first game right out of the gates. A lot of people might criticize it, but, both teams struggled last year. It's James Buchanan and York Tech.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. So both teams struggle, but this is going to be a good game between two teams that want to get a win.
And you hit the nail right on the head. So when you're doing a showcase like this, you can't have 5 or 6 high-ranked, nationally ranked opponents. I mean, it's just hard to get together all these teams. So what you really want to target is, as you said, good football games. Yeah. And although these teams may not be predicted to win District 3 championships or state championships, it's going to be a very competitive football game. And that's what you want. You want entertaining football. You have York Tech coming, with a new coach and kind of trying to revitalize the program there against a James Buchanan team that is, like you said, struggled a little bit last year but has a lot of talent coming back. I'm biased at coming from Franklin County last year. I have a good relationship with James Buchanan and their AD, shout out to Larry. They were honored to be a part of the game. And York Tech being our neighbors at Suburban, I mean, literally you can throw a stone from our campus to theirs. So it was just a natural fit to open up the weekend, 5:30 game. It's a good warm-up. And to your point, it should be a great football game, and it'll be a competitive matchup. And that's all you can ask for, entertainment value.
That's what I think, too. And, James Buchanan guys coming out of the hole. Last year, they got a couple of wins. They had 3 wins last year. They did pretty decently. And, their coach does a good job with the talent he has, and I gotta love the Rockets. Anything named the Rocket, I don't know why. Titusville is the Rockets, Southern Huntington Rockets, and James Buchanan Rockets. So that's one of my favorite. I guess you call it a mascot, or logo or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. It's going to be a really exciting game. And Ron, how many people get one of these? Beautiful trophies.
Every winner,
trophy right to the center.
Absolutely. Every winner of every game is going to get that trophy. It's not fully decorated yet. I have some fresh roses, some white roses coming. So the kids are going to be able to take pictures with roses. We're going to have some decorative silk roses that we can put around the trophy so that when they put it in a trophy case, they won't go bad, obviously. They won't die. So every winner, if you win a game this weekend, you'll get one of these trophies. The trophies, as you see on the front, I know obviously you can't zoom in, but on the front it has the 2 helmets of the competing teams. It has the Rose Bowl logo. And so it's just a very, very cool way to start your season, to be able to hold that trophy up in midfield at the end of the year and celebrate it. On the back, we are recognizing Pennsylvania Army National Guard. They've been a sponsor for us for years, and so we want to recognize them. And obviously just salute to all of our servicemen and women. That's, just kind of a kudos to them. So, yes, every winner will get a trophy, but you got to win the game to get the trophy. And I'll be presenting it to every winning coach and every winning set of captains after the end of the game.
Last year, everybody got a basket of peaches.
Everybody got a trophy like that, but instead of the football on top, they got a bowl, and it was filled with peaches. And the kids loved the peaches. As you said, they were very delicious. So this year, they won't be able to eat what they get, but they'll be able to take pictures with the roses. And, like they do in California, they can take pictures of the roses in their teeth and the whole nine and have fun with it.
You want to give a plug to the place where you got the roses?
Well, I'm not going to reveal my source just yet because they haven't arrived yet. So I'll shout them out on the live broadcast this weekend.
All right, yeah. And by the way, if you're interested in watching the games, why don't you tell everybody where they can watch the game?
Absolutely. So the primary broadcaster for the weekend is going to be the Roxmore Sports Network. Leon Rockymore, owner of the network, company based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We connected out when I was out in Woodland Hills. He does a great job in terms of live streaming, live broadcasting. He will cover all the games all weekend. You can find a link on roxamoresports.com.
We'll put that on our website.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow.
And it's just like it sounds, ROXAMORE, roxamoresports.com. Click on the link. You'll be able to watch all the games. You'll have all 5 games. In addition, there are going to be some local media outlets here in York that are going to cover a couple of the games. Fox 43 affiliate, I believe, is covering both late games. Obviously, you'll have to be in the York area to watch that.
That's right.
But if you're anywhere else outside of York, Roxamore Sports is the way that you want to go. You can watch it on your phone, your tablet, your smart TV. It'll be on YouTube, Facebook, the whole 9. So that's the way to go. Shout out to Leon Rockymore, who's been a good friend and a good colleague for years and does a great job. We're also partnering with a local York affiliate, Sports Shooting Stars. Want to give a huge acknowledgement to Dew Jones. He met with me. Younger company, upstart. It's been around the last couple years, but they've been following York sports for the last couple years. They also do an amazing job. They're going to be collaborating with Roxamore Sports. They'll be doing the commentating for the 5 games. So it's going to be a great, great weekend where you can watch some great games and have a high-level, high-quality broadcast. He just did a site visit yesterday, drove up from Pittsburgh. We tested his Wi-Fi signal. We tested camera placement. We're good to go. We're going to rock and roll.
Awesome, yeah. And ironically, I didn't know who they were, but I just had a conversation this week with Dew, and hopefully PA Football News and Shooting Stars can do some stuff together, So
absolutely.
So anything about that? Second game of the night. East Penn.
I'm biased, as you see by my black and orange.
And they're playing somebody you know.
Absolutely. We're playing the good old York Suburban Trojans, obviously my full-time job, athletic director for the York Suburban School District. I tell people all the time, these showcases are great, but my first, second, and third priority is always going to be the AD of the York Suburban School District. And so we made us the headliner for Friday night. We play a tough East Pennsboro opponent that has gotten the better of us the last couple years. But I don't know. I saw the guys this week practicing. We look pretty sharp. Got a three-year returning starter at quarterback that slings that thing. Shout out to Riley, and we're gonna have
Riley's gonna be on the show here in a little while.
Okay, so we'll see him here shortly, and Coach Josh Fry's got the boys prepared and ready to go, and so I'm really excited about potentially getting a win, not only in this first of its kind event here at York Suburban, but also beating a team that, like I said, has got the better of us the last couple years. I'm going to give you a name to watch out. Young sophomore running back CJ. Looks explosive coming out of the hole. I think he's going to do big things this year. Everybody's talking about us replacing Mikey, but I think we have some athletes back there that are going to be able to fill the big shoes that he left.
The big thing CJ has to remember is he's not Mikey.
Exactly.
He has to be his own player.
He has
you know,
to be
and
his
he is
own
good.
man.
He looked good at the camp, and so he's going to be a good one. Starting off tomorrow, we start off with a bang.
Saturday, so it's
Or
ironic.
Saturday, not
I've
tomorrow,
said this, no
Saturday,
worries.
yeah.
I've said this to a couple people. It's funny. The game that is being talked about the least, because it's two schools that are not from the area, not from Central PA, is probably going to be if not the best, one of the best games of the weekend. All right, so you have Imhotep coming from Philly, been in the 5A championship game, what, Billy, 5 out of the last 6 years, something like that?
They're a lot.
They've been there a lot.
Yeah.
They have high-level Power 5 recruits, Georgia recruit, Penn State recruit, Pitt recruit. They have, as we say in the business, dogs.
That's right. And their coaching staff is great. Devin Johnson is
Absolutely.
a great coach, and they play a high level of football.
They do.
They're very
They do.
organized. They do everything right. But the team they're playing has some dogs of their own.
Absolutely. So Life Christian out of Virginia is a school that, again, people in this area may not be familiar with. Prep school out of Virginia. They have a traditional high school program, and then they have a post-grad program as well. Obviously, Imhotep will be playing a traditional high school program. But Life Christian has got several high-level recruits as well. And the irony in this matchup is the head coach from Life Christian, Coach Fitzgerald, is actually originally from Philadelphia. So he's got a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's trying to prove that although he's not in Philly anymore, he's still got that Philly toughness in him. So it's going to be a great ball game.
That's at 2:30.
That's at 2:30 at Suburban.
2:30.
Absolutely.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be a great game.
I can't wait to see that game. And then the next game, look out.
So it's like the roller
lineup is
coaster.
great.
Absolutely. It's like the roller coaster. You start going up the hill. You're going up the hill, and now we're coming down the big drop on the roller coaster. 5:30, the defending 1A state champs, the Steel High Rollers. Coach Erb does a phenomenal job with the kids. He's obviously got a handful of Division I recruits on that roster as well.
Yeah, he's got some high-flying kids
He
on that
does.
roster.
They are athletic. They are fast. They are quick. They are strong. They're a great football team. Well, they're going to match up against another great football team that is similar in size to them, Imani Christian out of Pittsburgh. Coach Leroy Johnson has been doing it for a while.
Yep.
Had the pleasure of knowing him personally, and he as well has a couple Division I recruits on his roster. So it's going to be a mirror of matchups.
Yep.
Similar size rosters.
Coming in.
Absolutely.
He's going to be something to watch. He's a very tall receiver, and he's got very athletic. So that's going to be quite some game. Of course, we're familiar with Imani and Leroy both in our showcase because they were the team that played
Bishop
the fake
Sycamore.
team. The fake team, yeah.
The fake high school. BS High School,
so-
as the documentary is called.
I don't know. It took a while for me to live that one down once that came out. We were like, how didn't you know? And for you guys that weren't there, it started off like we had this team. They were legit. Everybody thought they were legit, including me and Ron, they showed up with the wrong jerseys. So we had two teams on the field with black pants and black jerseys with silver trim. Try scoring that.
I remember watching them play actually on TV against IMG that same
That was
season.
like-
Yeah.
2 days after they played in my event.
Yeah.
So, I like you, Billy, I caught some flack for that as well. But you know what I told people? I said, hey, if they could fool ESPN,
That's right.
you don't think they could fool me?
That's right. That's right.
How did they do when they were at your guys' event? Because I remember watching the IMG game and they just got completely
Well,
demolished.
Stowe Rocks beat them by about 2 scores as well. And
Okay.
Stowe Rocks was a 2A football team. Now, good football team. I think they went to the District 7 championship that year. Good football team, but for them to supposedly be a national power, Stowe Rocks beat them handily. And then 2 days later, they went down and played IMG out at the Hall of Fame game and got mollywopped out there as well.
And then 3 days later, they didn't play football anymore.
Exactly. After that,
I
it was
feel
shut
bad
down.
for the kids.
I do as
did.
well.
I did feel bad.
But from my understanding, some of those kids didn't belong. Their eligibility had exhausted.
Some of those kids weren't kids.
Yeah, that was the weird part. And then Stowe Rocks was not a big team. Leroy was the coach that year, right?
He was.
Yeah, and so they weren't that good on the. I mean, to watch them, you would think like Division I athletes were going to be that good, but they weren't.
And that's why they got smacked around by IMG, to your point.
Then we close it off.
So I've used this shout out. I know it's probably trademark, so I want no parts of legal problems. But as they say in the California Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, 8:30 Saturday night. You got York High, Harrisburg High, two old rivals that haven't played each other since like 2015, 2016.
Yep.
It's going to be a heck of a football game. 6A powerhouses, always expected to make the playoffs, always expected to have Division I recruits. And I'm excited because not only is the game going to be great, but the energy and atmosphere in the stadium is going to be great because
Russ Stoner does have some Division I athletes.
He does. He does.
One committed to Maryland.
Yes, he does.
And so that's exciting. Harrisburg with Calvin Everett, Coach Cal. They bring back a lot of their team that went down to Cumberland Valley and just got slobber-knockered by a juggernaut named St. Joe's Prep. But they return a lot back. Sean Lee is back at quarterback this year for them.
Yes, indeed.
Kevin Brown on the line is going to be a really good stud. So this is going to be an exciting game. I cannot wait to see that.
I can't wait either. I think it's a great way to end the weekend. I mean, obviously, the hometown crew, York Suburban, we're the headliner Friday night. York High Harrisburg's the headliner Saturday night. I think you're ending both nights with probably one of the most anticipated games of that day. And I just think, again, it's going to be a great weekend of high school football. If you're a high school football fan, you're missing out if you don't tune into this event.
There's no college football this weekend, so if you love football, you got to come down to York Suburban because that's where it's going to be. That's what's going on at York Suburban. And the facilities are great. I was there earlier this year for a camp, and it was just a great camp. And we've
upgraded even since then. We've just installed brand new play clocks, brand new scoreboard.
So how do we get tickets? We get tickets right now.
So all of our ticketing is going to be digital. It's going to be online. So we have a GoFan account set up. You'll see the graphic coming up here on the screen soon. There's a QR code you can scan. You can buy your ticket right on your phone. That is what we are recommending everyone do because you don't have to stand in line. You literally come with your ticket on your phone, come to the gate. Security will check you in, and you walk right into the stadium. There's also a website link that you can click on to buy tickets as well, which we'll distribute out on all of our social media platforms.
We already put that on PA Football News on our Twitter.
Beautiful.
Go to our Twitter, PA Football News, and you can grab it there. It's also on our Facebook page. And when we do our preview article, we will have information there tomorrow on PA Football News in the preview article for the Rose Bowl. And we'll have the scan codes there too. And you can also scan at the gate.
You can check in at the gate, and then if you're just somebody who's last minute decides to come and doesn't have a chance to do the pre, you can purchase tickets at the gate, but we are going to be cashless. Like I said, we'll have credit card readers, so make sure you have a debit card or a credit card. We'll scan you in and get you in quickly. But also make sure you bring your cash because my concession stand does not turn down cash.
That's right. Bring the money.
They'll take plastic as well.
While we're on that subject, Ron, hey, let's talk about that. A lot of people, you see a lot of complaints about these games going cashless. I know why. So tell everybody why it's better to go cashless.
So there's multiple reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, we could spend another 30-minute segment, but the crux of it is the top 2 or 3 reasons. First and foremost, cashless is a little bit safer in terms of just your setup. You don't have to worry about a security issue with having thousands of dollars cash sitting out. You also don't have to worry about a sweet, non-ill-intentioned person miscounting, giving the wrong change, or, giving back a 20 when they should have gave back a 10 or whatever, and then your count at the end of the night is off. It's also cleaner. We dealt with COVID over the last 2-3 years. Cash, people don't realize cash is very, very dirty.
Sure
it's
is.
passed around. You eliminate those germs, the disease and all that by going cashless. It makes it cleaner. And the last part is when people get it down, it makes your line so much quicker because you can buy your ticket before you even get to the stadium. And you just walk to the gate and walk right in. So there are several other reasons.
You don't have to wait in line in the cafeteria on Wednesday afternoon to get your ticket. I remember being from Berwick, I remember they would put the tickets on sale on Wednesday, and there would be a line from the office through the cafeteria, out the door, down the road, and they would all be coming in, and now you don't have to worry about doing that anymore.
You don't at all. And to your point, I've been dealing with complaints the last 24 hours since I've posted we're going cashless. And I understand it. I mean, people are traditional in the way that they want to purchase their tickets and enter a game. But I promise, once we get comfortable with this is going to make life so easy. The process is easy.
It is easy.
So easy, caveman can do it.
And you'll have people at the gate if like somebody comes in, they don't have the ability to scan. you know, I've seen people like, give me your thing and I'll take care of it for you.
Absolutely.
And
We'll have people take care of
somebody will
everybody.
be there to scan it for you.
Absolutely.
And take care of that. The one final thing in my thought is at the end of the game, you don't have to worry about taking $50,000 or, you know, you would hope it's a $50,000.
I hope so.
So you're doing, what is it? How much is it to get in?
So it's $10 for adults, $5 for students. That $10 pass gets you in for all the games for that particular day. But there's a Friday pass and a Saturday pass. You don't get one pass for both days. You have to buy a pass per day. And to your point, hopefully, if it's a successful event, there will be $50,000 worth of transactions
And
made.
you don't want somebody to worry. You don't need to worry about taking it. That's the big thing. Like, people don't understand. You don't have to worry about someone taking that money and getting it to the bank. And the problem is, how many banks are open on Friday night?
Not many. So you either have to do a drop, or you have to have a security escort, or you have to hold on to it until the next day. And I don't know about you, Billy, but I don't want to hold $50,000 of somebody else's money. I don't want any parts of that.
I don't know. I hold $50,000 of my own money if I can get that.
Absolutely. If it was going to the Ron Coursey
I don't
bank
think I've
account,
ever done that in my
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
But real exciting, Ron. I mean, the lineup that we put together is great. I'm excited for it. Again, the most underrated team is Immote. If you guys want to see future Division I recruits, for that reason alone, come down at 2 o'clock.
Absolutely.
And get in the gate. You know, you get to see guys that are going to go to Penn State, and you know, some of these guys may end up in the NFL.
Absolutely. I mean, you have a running back going to Georgia. All you have to do is just get on the field at Georgia, and you'll get drafted. So you got somebody, like you said, that you're going to definitely see on Saturdays, and you may see on Sundays one day.
Yeah, Ron, I want to talk to you about one other thing. We held a camp earlier this year with Russ Stoner from York, and it was a showcase, actually.
Well, let's not leave out my head coach, Josh Fry, because he was a big part of that, too.
Leave him out. Josh Fry was there, and we had a lot of volunteers. So where I'm going to go with this is when Russ and I started putting it together, it was a quiet period time. So coaches could go to a school, talk to, you know, whoever, but they couldn't come out. Division I, we're talking Division I. They couldn't come out to this showcase that we had. Now, I don't know if you saw the recruiting. Josh, I don't know if you've seen Josh Fry is here waiting to come on. The recruiting calendar for next year, usually from the middle of April through May, is a quiet period. This year, it's an open period. It's recruiting. So coaches can go anywhere and do anything. There's going to be a million. You know, there are going to be a million people out there who are going to want to have a camp and a combine. How does that affect, like, what you do, knowing that all these coaches can, like, and all these camps and combines and these workout guys who, you know, just they don't do anything, but that's what they want to do. Now they're going to come after your players. How do you handle something like that?
Well, I think it's a testament to you, to Coach Fry, to Coach Stoner, that camp was well received. There was rave reviews about how good it was run, how organized it was. So I would hope anybody that came last year that has either a underclassman that wants to come back or has a younger sibling or just a teammate would recommend them coming back to our mega practice. I think also the reality is what I got from a lot of the coaches, and Coach Fry can speak on it when he comes up, they really liked the drills and the activities that we did in our camp. Right. It wasn't just running 40-yard dashes. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are track stars that can run a blazing 40 but can't catch, can't hit, can't do anything that is required to play the game of football. You know, I was a college basketball player. I used to joke all the time, these guys that have 40-inch verticals but can't dribble and chew gum at the same time, that 40-inch vertical means nothing. So at the end of the day, I would hope that because of the format, the way we do our camp and the way that it is going to be structured, and obviously the connection with PA Football News and two great high school coaches, I'm hoping that we still are able to maintain the high-level commitment that we got this year.
Yeah, and I'm hoping a lot of coaches out there who haven't seen what's going on with the recruiting calendar realize that you're going to have to talk to your kids, and they're going to have to be very careful because all the wolves that are out there, they're going to want those kids' money. They're going to try and get them, you know, and they're going to try and say, oh, well, these coaches are coming and these coaches are coming. It's going to be difficult, Ron.
It will be, but at the end of the day, I think the message that you're saying, which is huge to all parents and families out there, be careful who you trust with your kids' future.
That's right.
There are some people out here that have pure intentions that want nothing but to help kids get to the next level. There are some people that have mercenary motives that want a cash grab.
That's right.
Or that want to use kids. And so I would just tell parents, coaches, family members, just be careful who you trust.
Do
with
some
your kids'
research.
future.
You know, then that's what I say. Do some research. You know, we closed our recruiting website down because recruiting is different. So they don't use those websites as much. But there are some websites. There are some people out there who do a good job. I will give a shout out to Prep Red Zone. They do their due diligence. They talk to these kids all the time, and they get kids moving. So they do a good job. But you know, my biggest thing is to parents, and parents, if you're listening. This conversation went totally where I wasn't going to go, but I'll end it with this. If the person running a camp or recruiting your child and wanting them to work out does not have an office, an insurance policy, and certificates on the wall, if they're inviting your son to go work out at somebody's field or somebody's high school, that's your first red flag warning right there. If they do not belong to a unit, that's your first red flag. Number two, the second red flag, ask them how long they've been doing it. If they have never coached in college, and I've seen guys out there who have never coached in college, they barely played in college, and they're out there training kids, and they're in their mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, and you have to say to yourself, okay, so what kind of experience, what gives them the right to train my son or daughter? You know, so anyway, because there are some daughters playing football this year, and we had one in Philadelphia. She's a lineman.
Oh,
She's
really?
A lineman at Roxborough, yeah. So we have a line woman. I guess we have to change that now. Line woman.
I love it.
Yeah, line
That's
girl.
right. What year is she? If she's an underclassman, we got to get them in the classic next year.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. We can pull Roxborough up here. But anyway, that's Ron Coursey down there, athletic director, lead guy for the Rose Bowl that's being held at Suburban. We hope to see you guys there. Ron, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, and shout out to my guys out here from York Suburban that just showed up. They're coming on
We got
next.
York Tech coming
So
up.
stay
pretty
tuned
soon.
because you got the Friday 8:30 winners about to walk on the stage here in a minute.
All right, so we're going to take a break here. We're going to talk to we're going to hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be right back with Josh Fry and some members of the York Suburban football team.
The Cobalt Plus headset system delivers proven performance along with more users, more flexibility. That's why coaches across Pennsylvania trust Cobalt Plus. CoachCom makes tough headset systems for tough teams. We build headsets to help teams win. Call or click to learn more about Cobalt Plus from the proven leader in football communications.
Go route. It's been phenomenal. I think just the ability when you got guys from all over the state and everyone's got things going on and trying to get organized and practice. Taking the language out of the offense and just giving these guys the ability to just go and learn on the fly from it. It's my first experience ever with it, and it's phenomenal. I would certainly use it.
My name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school or a college, and you want to be safer, get in touch at safersports.com.
And Tech, Pitt, and there's like 9 or 10 colleges that are already using them this year. And we're live. We're back live. Dan, you surprised me. Dan the Man, we got to thank Dan the Man Reed back in Auburn, PA, up in Schuylkill County area. He's running the show from his living room or bedroom or office or wherever he's at. So he's running the show. And, guys, we have some guests here. So Josh Rye, head coach, York Suburban, the Trojans.
How you doing,
Josh,
guys?
who'd you bring with you?
I brought our quarterback, Rylan Bratton, number 3 back there. Our center, Dylan Hopwood, 73. Our tackle, Jalen Lee. And then I have our tight end, John Glennon.
Welcome to the show, Josh. We were talking about that showcase that we held earlier this year. That was a fun time. Were these guys here?
Yes, they were all represented, and they represented us well there. Yes.
Yeah, they did a great job. So you got to be excited about this season, Josh. You got a quarterback that can throw the ball pretty good, and you got some experience coming back.
Absolutely, and I'm really excited about what our experience is coming back up front too. So that's going to be a good thing for keeping our quarterback upright this year. So.
Yeah, it will. And you don't play in an easy league to play in either.
No, absolutely not. I think our division is wide open as any this year. I mean, there's competition across the board. Every week we're going to have to be on our best game.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely going to have to be on your best game, especially on Friday night.
Absolutely. East Penn's a tough team out of Harrisburg. They come down. They always play physical. They line up and they run downhill.
And they've gotten the better of you the last couple of years. So what's different this year for your Suburban?
Yes, you're right. I'm 0 for 2 this year. But our guys also understand that they were 0 for 2, and they're just as hungry as ours. And they came back and they really dedicated themselves this summer and in the spring, and they're hungry. They're ready to play on Friday.
And so, guys, whoever has the microphone back there, we won't turn around, but I will turn around. So, what's different this year from last year for Suburban?
I think we've all worked in the off season a little harder, with the team, without the team, doing stuff on our own, being in the gym more.
Same question?
Yeah, same question.
Basically what he said, but just we have a good group of guys that has been playing together since youth league. So
That's good. Yeah. So, Josh, what stood out to you in summer workouts and stuff like that?
Just the camaraderie of this group. They're a real tight-knit group. They push each other. They push each other forward. They hold each other accountable. And especially our guys up front here, or in the back, I guess, right now. But they really rally everybody together, night in and night out.
What drove you to be a head coach?
I'm a son of a high school coach. My dad was the O-line defensive coordinator for West York for a long time. Unfortunately, he passed away in that role. But just kind of have that connection to the game actually just makes me feel still connected to him. And then, just being a long-time assistant and, just having that drive to eventually run their own program.
Yeah, so first I want to apologize to everybody. We're holding microphones because I'm waiting on 2 more headsets to come in. So we're kind of doing things a little old school right now. So it kind of looks clunky, but next week we won't have that. We'll announce where the show is next week, right after this segment. But Josh, coming into Friday night with East Penn, how it's not just that game that's there on your field. How excited are you to have, 8 other teams playing on your field and giving some publicity to the Suburban program?
I mean, I think it's great for the football community of York, just bringing this to our area. York sometimes gets a bad rap, when we get outside and, divisional and district play, stuff like that. But just bringing that to our area and really, that we do have great football here and showing that off, in a bunch of different leagues during this game, or during this contest.
Yeah, so pass the microphone. Okay, you have the microphone. So what was the summer like for you guys as a team?
We worked hard, day in, day out, early mornings, late nights, 2 days, 3 days. We put that work in.
Yeah, so pass the microphone down to the end. What was your name again?
John.
John, what position do you play?
Linebacker and tight end.
You're a linebacker and tight end? All right, hold that microphone up to your mouth there. All right, John, what was the best part of this summer for you?
Just being able to, my dad, he replaced our defensive coordinator, and I've been able to work with him a lot as we get a new defense in, and it's been a good opportunity for me to improve my skills and my techniques, and hopefully step up and do the defense.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it over to the interns. Go ahead.
What are you most looking forward to this season?
Just getting out there and enjoying my senior season, not taking it for granted. You only get this once. They always say you get it once in your life, and I want to take every moment and enjoy it and have fun, and just not don't get caught up in it. Just play football.
I had a question here for Coach, actually. Earlier, I think we had mentioned before you came on about the addition of C.J. Rissmiller. It seems like you have a lot of depth at running back. Is that something that you're looking to exploit this season?
Absolutely. I know everybody thinks, and obviously we did lose a big piece of our offense with Mikey Benevino, at Duquesne this year. But CJ got some playing time last year, and I think people are going to be surprised, and he's going to shock a lot of people. He's going to have a great year this year.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Ron Coursey and I with CJ. I said he has to kind of be careful. You don't want to fill shoes. You want to put your own shoes on the field, and you don't want to try and be Mikey. You want to be CJ.
Well, and that's a credit also to these guys right here that block for, they block for Mikey, and, I think Jalen said it best in the interview earlier, they're doing their job day in and day out. It doesn't really matter who's behind them. They're going to clear the way for whoever's there, and they're looking forward to CJ having a good year as well.
Coach, what would you consider, what sentence would you use to say this was a successful season?
Just that we competed, John kind of mentioned it, that we didn't let any opportunities escape us. And I thought we had a game or two last year that I think even our players would admit that we kind of maybe looked too far ahead or got too eager and had an oops. And, I don't want that to happen this year, that we just stay in the moment. We compete every week. We compete against a team and we just go out and play our brand of football.
So back to the players. Pass the microphone down. All right, you're a lineman. All right, so I have a lineman question. I asked this question to every lineman, and I already know the answer. So, what is your favorite play the offense runs?
I can't say. It's in the game plan.
What's it? You can't.
It's in the game plan. I can't say.
What kind of play?
Is it run or pass?
We'll do run. We'll do run.
Yeah. And if it's a good play, are you pulling on that play? They already saw you. They saw your film, right? They already saw your film. Honestly, there's no secrets. They looked at your film, so they know what's coming. Yeah. So all the linemen love a play when they can pull. Coach, I've said it before. You guys have to find a way to get the lineman the ball somehow, legally, because in addition, wouldn't that be great if while you're pulling, the quarterback turned around and gave you the ball?
For sure, definitely.
We need a slip screen out to the lineman or something. Pull him back.
It. Yeah. They love to run and they love to. I think they like to pull. Why do you like to pull the best?
Because you get to use all your momentum. Bring it to the defense. You get to hit the defense back.
You get to hit somebody. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. So pass the microphone down. We're just doing a little fun with the players right now, and this is a question you probably didn't think was coming, but if somebody pulled up in that parking lot right there, right now, walked in here and handed you a set of keys and said, "This is your car. You can have it. It's your favorite car. What is it?"
Oh, that's a hard question. I'm not even into cars like that. I don't even think about that. But I've been dreaming a Ford Raptor. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go. See, that's your dream car. That's what
I like that.
Drive. Yeah. So while you have the microphone, who's the toughest lineman that you have ever faced besides someone on your team?
That's a hard one because this guy's pretty hard to go against, honestly. Toughest line. Probably I don't know his name, but probably one of the guys that we went against on Mannheim Central.
Central has some dudes.
They were
that was our playoff game last year.
Yeah, they do have some dudes, and all those dudes are back at Central this year. They have a lot of them back. So yeah, give it to the quarterback there. What's your favorite play to run?
To run?
You could your favorite type of play.
Pass play, obviously.
A pass play. Anything he's throwing the ball. You don't like to hand the ball off or run it?
No.
So if I ask you who your favorite pro athlete is a quarterback?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahoney's. Yeah, the young guy. Why do you like Patrick?
I think he just changed the game for everyone pretty much.
Yeah, he did a great job. So hand the microphone back down. Aspirations this season, goals for the team and goals for yourself.
Goals for the team is just to compete and win games. Goals for myself is I'm trying to make a all-county this year and just compete and win.
Coach, there's nothing wrong with a player having personal goals, is there?
Absolutely not. I mean, that's what drives them, to be out there on the field and do all the stuff that we ask them to do.
That's right.
Obviously, a little personal ambition, goes a long way.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of guys get shy when it comes to that, and they say, well, I don't want to think about myself, but you do have to think about yourself as a football player. And then, if you think highly of yourself and you have high goals, obviously it helps your team.
Right, absolutely. Like I said, just that drive, because if you were motivated to do something extra, you're going to be willing to put the extra work in as well.
I have one more question, and then I'm going to turn it over to my interns to finish it out. So pass the microphone down. What do you like the best? Pro football, college football, or high school football?
Pro football.
Why?
Because it's a grind and it's a next man up job. You either do your job or you get cut.
That used to happen in high school. Does it still happen, Coach?
The numbers aren't what up there that make that happen.
Yeah. Guys, how about it?
I've got a question for the quarterback here. So you said Mahomes is your favorite player. Is there certain quarterbacks that you watch maybe in college or NFL that you try and model your game after besides Mahomes?
My team, which is the Steelers, so Kenny Pickett, obviously he changed the game as well during the championship, doing the fake slide and everything. So he kind of changed that role for everyone. Jalen Hurts, another great quarterback. And there's a ton out there that kind of are just all role models.
Okay. Little follow-up question on that. The receivers on your team, how do you approach building the relationships with them to get chemistry on field?
So working on and off field, so off season, we would get together, go to the field, do the route tree, go through plays, stuff like that.
All right.
You can pass the mic down one. Yeah, you're good. So who do you look up to the most? Who's your biggest role model? Football, family, anybody. Who do you look up to?
Man, I really like my favorite team, the lineman, right guard, Zach Martin. I really like him. He's a great lineman. Just all around, just a great guy. That's who I really look up to.
Who's your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter?
Yeah.
It's my dad. He's always at my games. Just support, sorry.
Got a little juice.
Okay. Yeah, we got a little juice here now. So your dad there, what's your dad usually, if you catch something, if you could hear your dad yelling, what's he usually yelling to you?
I don't know. I don't really listen to my dad on the field.
That's a good answer, because Coach, how do you deal with that? I just put something out the other day about it had a stop sign, and then it had a no left turn only, left turn on red, no turn. And basically the saying was, this is what a child sees when you're trying to coach from the bleachers and the coach is trying to coach from the field. That's what they see. So how do you handle that?
I mean, I think we're fortunate enough in the stadium that we have that a lot of times, our fans sit far enough back that, and our players, and I know for me personally, when I'm coaching, I'm so focused on what's going on the field, and I hope these guys are too, that a lot of times, that stuff becomes background. You don't really hear specific comments. You don't hear things being shouted. It just becomes dulled in the rest of the background noise.
Yeah. Continue on, gentlemen.
You can pass it down one. If you could play any other position, what would you play?
I stay at line. I like what I do.
You like that? Okay. Same question. Any position other than tight end?
I'm going to play quarterback.
You're going to play
I'm
quarterback?
going to sling the rock. Got a few touchdowns. I'll throw it to Rowland.
What's
Receiver.
the last position you played before your current position?
I was a receiver. I got a little bigger, and then wasn't as fast. They moved me down to tight end. But
that natural progression, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, natural
It was a
progression.
promotion.
You said that your dad is one of the coaches, correct?
Yeah.
How big of an impact does that have for you playing?
Well, just the relationship. Like, he knows how I think, how I move. When I do something wrong or something, he's there to help. And his advice is always perfect because it's what I'm used to my whole life. And something I've looked up to, too. Something I want to model in my game. He also played in college. So someone you look up to, someone you see as your role model, to be able to be on the field with them coaching you. It does have a positive impact, I think.
Okay.
Important team to beat every year. Who is the most important team? If you know you have to lose every game but one, who is that team you got to beat?
I mean, it's West York, I think. I mean, we want to beat them, obviously. I mean, all the teams in our division, it's always tight. We don't really like each other. But I would highlight West York as one we definitely want to win every year, especially after last year.
So what's one of the most, somebody else can answer the question too, what's one of the most important traditions at York Suburban? Or Coach, you can answer that one.
The homecoming, I think, is one of our biggest, which as it is at most schools, the parade, the captains get a chance to, speak, and the bonfire, just the community rallying around that, I think is a huge tradition for our school and our community.
Yeah, homecoming is always important. So what's your favorite part of homecoming?
The game.
Absolutely, 100%. Where we played, when I grew up, we weren't allowed to have homecoming during football season. Our homecoming was always during basketball season. George Curry didn't like any kind of interruptions whatsoever on the field. So we never had homecoming. It was always at basketball. We were the only team that ever had homecoming at basketball. Yeah, it was crazy, but it was fun. Guys, I appreciate you guys all coming down, and be a part of it. I'm excited to see the game on Friday night. I can't wait to be there and be a part of that, the whole Rose Bowl thing and the Kickoff Classic. And I wish you guys nothing but the best this season. I hope you have a great season. I hope everything comes out of it that you want to come out of it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having us, too.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. That's Josh Fry and York Suburban Trojans. Thanks for being on the show. We're going to come back after a few messages from a sponsor with a new head coach from York Tech. So we'll be right back after these words from our sponsor.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
CoachComm is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachComm because CoachComm has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
All right, we're back live. We're at Parma Pizza. I want to thank Parma Pizza for being a sponsor of the State of PA Football. That's the name of our show. I'm Billy Splain, and sitting next to me we have Josiah, and we have Lucas Miller, and on the far end we have a brand new head coach, the head coach from York Tech. Tell them who you are, Coach.
Scott Mathena. This is my 27th year of high school football, so I'm not new to football, but I've been head coach before down in Maryland.
Yeah, Coach, so what's your history down in Maryland?
I was at a high school called Hanford High School, the Bulls. Very successful program. We won a couple state championships, made it to a couple semifinals, so it's always been a strong Baltimore County football team. So I've been there off and on for about 20 years.
So obviously, you know, Pennsylvania plays Maryland in
Yes.
the Big 33 game. Have you ever got a chance to see the Big 33 game?
I've gone to a few, and the ones I've been to, we kind of were on the bad side. So Maryland didn't do so hot, but
Well, they did pretty good last year. It was an exciting
last year
game.
was actually, like I said, I didn't go, but it sounds like last year was a different story.
Yeah, that was an exciting game. So what brought you to York Tech?
My youngest son goes to school there. He's not a football player. So when the job came open, I don't know, I just got a vibe from the school, being around my son, being at the school a little bit. And so I was like, you know what, I think it's a great opportunity. You know, I had some good kids. Last year they lost a few games, close games, and so I'm hoping to push them over the edge and get a couple wins this year.
They did have a good team last year, and they had some good talent. I remember Mike Lennon had, you know, he was on the show with some players, and they had one kid, you know, he could have been a recruit, but he had a job lined up for himself. He could have played college football. So who'd you bring with you today, Coach?
We got Zion King, Serge McGill, and Pierce. I'm going to butcher it. Ali.
So you're still learning. We give you that.
I'm
You're
still
still
learning
learning the names. It's difficult. Yeah. Are you one of those coaches that we got to put the name on the helmet?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, what are some of the challenges right now that you face? Because these kids don't go to York Tech to get a scholarship. They're just playing football. And I've talked about this with other tech schools, Columbia Montorvo Tech and some others. It's a different atmosphere than at a regular high school, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's like they come from all over the county. Some kids cannot play sports just because of transportation, which is a shame because we have a decent-sized student population. But, you know, we've got like 40 kids on the team now. We're making strides. And, you know, hopefully we get a couple wins on our belt this year and get some new blood out next year. Hopefully get some new kids that change their mind about wanting to play football.
Well, on the same subject, it's not typically a goal to reach the state championship for a tech school team. So what are the goals for York Tech this year?
I mean, my biggest thing is I tell them, I just want them to compete and just show up and 100% all out and see what happens. You know, years past, they've had a history of not having a good winning record. But that doesn't mean it's not a good team. They just, you know, hopefully I've tweaked a few things, moved a few kids around, brought in a new system. So I'm hoping that, you know, I feel confident that, you know, I'm not sure if it's going to be week 1, week 3, week 5, but when it clicks, I feel like it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, Coach, keeping on the same subject, so you're a new coach, you're in a school with, you know, and I don't mean this as an insult, but not college football players, and then you have to bring in your own system. So what What works best for a school like York Tech?
A school like York Tech is I'm trying to run different formations but keep the plays the same. So the plays will always be the plays. It's just going to be run out of different formations. It's slowly coming. You know, we got a scrimmage, some good, some bad, some ugly. You build upon that. You know, I feel like every week, I feel like confidence is building. They're starting to understand things more. And like I said, you never know. Like I said, Friday night, you know, if we show up and everyone's head's in the game, I tell them it's a mindset. Football is all about a mindset game, like how your attitude. So I said we come with the right attitude and mindset, you know, anything can happen. So.
Yeah, I agree. 100. You know, I agree with you on that. It's all about how the kids feel, and the coaches are responsible, you know, for getting the kids charged up and ready to play. And at a tech school, I have a soft spot for tech schools because I know the difficulty. Being in Berwick, we had Columbia Montour Votech right down the road, so we had a lot of kids go to Votech. And I know every couple of years, there's a tech school that'll contact me and say, hey, we got a pretty good team this year. You know, so as far as that goes, what kind of experience do you have coming back this year?
We actually have a pretty decent amount. We have a good mix of seniors, juniors, and even have a few 10th graders that, you know, I think they're starting to buy into the program. Like I said, my thing is offense, defense, do your job. Everybody does their job. Good things happen. When you don't do your job, that's when things fall apart. So it's like I said, it's a challenge, but I feel like we're going to get there. It's just a matter of when.
And the difference is, compared to what a lot of schools do all summer, these kids are spread out all over the place, so you just can't get together like most schools do throughout the summer. Talk about that challenge.
So actually, we were lucky. We averaged 40 kids. So over the summer between 9th graders and 12th graders. So we're moving in the right direction.
That's great. So guys, it seems like you're buying into what coach is selling here. Yeah. So talk about that. You know, do you guys all get together and talk to each other and say, hey man, you know, we got to come to practice this summer. Or, you know, it's Thursday, it's June 23rd. You know, hey, why are you not at practice? Is that the kind of stuff you guys do?
Yes, there's a lot of encouragement from the upperclassmen to get the lowerclassmen to come.
I like how you said encouragement.
And then also, like, we're spread out, so if somebody can't get there and they don't live close to the school, we'll just have somebody else give them a ride because we knew how important it was to get everybody there to get to the off-season workouts.
Guys, do you have anything for these guys?
The quarterback. Which one is the quarterback up here? What play style do you think best fits how you approach each game? Like when you're out there, what are you looking to do the most of?
I'm not really looking for nothing. I'm really focused straight on the plays, the game. What's going on in my head is really nothing. I do my job like Coach said, but really my mind is empty on the field. I ain't got no main objective, just to do what I got to do.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about that. Like, you can pass the mic down here. So, like, are you a player that when you walk on the field, there's a switch that tunes everything out outside the sidelines, and you're on the field?
Yeah, so most likely every time, like when I get on the field, I just be on beast mode and get everything on my head and focus on what I got to do.
Yeah. So, Coach, how difficult is it to keep players focused when your team is down?
I mean, the biggest thing I tell them is don't let one bad play turn into 15 bad plays. Football, high school football is between 90 and 115 plays. So if you make a mistake, which you're going to make a mistake, I say you have to learn to move on, put it behind you, and don't let one bad play last for 15 plays. That's one of my biggest things because I see kids, they drop their shoulders and they make a bad play. And I go, hey, come on now. I tell them it's 90 to 115 plays. So, We're not going to win every play. We're going to try, but keeping them motivated. That's my job. To just keep them motivated and keep them, try to steer the ship and just keep it going in the right direction.
Talk about the support system you have at Tech, your parents and the community.
The administration has been great. I mean, they came in, they asked me what I needed. I told them what I needed. They got it. They're constantly checking in with me. Parents seem like you're checking in. Summer practice, the parents did a great job donating food, water, stuff for the kids to eat between practices, like to the point where, it just kept coming in day after day. And I didn't really even ask. I just said, hey, could anyone send in some stuff for the boys, Gatorades, water, granola bars, and it just kept flowing in all summer through the first 2 weeks of practice. So parents are being supportive, administration's being supportive, so now we just got to do our job Friday night and show our appreciation by showing up.
So showing the difference now, let's go back to the players. So what are you at York Tech for?
I really came for to get better education, and I seen the football team was a little bit low on things, so I try to join and see what they got and to get better at it.
Yeah. So what is your study at York Tech?
I do automotive.
Automotive. So and what year are you?
10th.
Okay. So do you have plans for after high school?
I'm planning on going on to college and see what I can do up to there and do football and see what else comes in my way.
So there's an example, Coach, of a player who actually did come to Tech, wants to play football, and wants to move on to college and play football.
Yes.
That's a rare thing at a Tech school.
Yes, it is. So I think Pierce has got a pretty good situation that he's working on with the academies.
Okay, let's hear about that. Talk about your situation with the academies. What do you got going on?
I mean, all I've done so far is apply to them, and I've went there for their summer programs and stuff, and went to Navy's football camp and to experience the academies.
And you met Coach Yo?
Yes.
Yeah. So how was that experience for you, and is that something that you're very interested in?
Yeah, I met him. We talked. It's definitely on my list of things to do. If I went to the Naval Academy, I'm very interested in playing football there and also going there for engineering.
What about Army?
Yeah, Army, Navy and Air Force are at the top of my list.
Navy and Air Force. And what do you want to be in the Navy or Air Force?
I want to be a pilot.
Do you have the grades to be a pilot?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's great to hear. So grades are very important in a Tech school. So you want to be a pilot?
Yes.
You're a big man to be a pilot. Yeah, you are. He's a large. What position are you again?
Defensive end.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. But I wish you the best, and I hope that does work out for you. Let's go right to the quarterback. Why are you at Tech?
I'm at Tech for carpentry. So I'm at Tech because my mom started a home remodeling business, and I thought if I get the chance to, I can keep the business going and make it even better. And then me learning my skills at carpentry can help me fix certain things better, help my mom understand this is how certain things are put together so I can help make the houses even better so they cost more in the real estate.
So you have a plan for when you graduate from high school.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one thing about the Tech schools, Coach, that, it's not a difficult, your burden is a little bit eased because most of the kids on your team know what they want to do afterwards, where with a team like a Suburban or a York High or something, those kids are all like, where am I going to go? What do I want to go to college? What's going on? And right now, the situation is ripe for kids coming out of a Tech school to get those blue-collar jobs.
Yes, I definitely said it's to me, it's a pretty neat thing. It's, college isn't for everyone.
No.
So a school like Tech shows people that, HVAC, welding, automotive, catering. I mean, they have a lot of great programs at York Tech. They got technology, computers now. So, it's a great, if they're not into college, but, some may change their mind. So it's just it's kind of a good feeling for the young men that they know, hey, I know I got this behind me or under my belt, definitely, no matter what.
You got anything for him?
What games are you guys looking forward to most this year?
Really, I don't even care who we play, just as long as I get to play.
Yeah, so on that note, to follow up what he said, does York have a rival?
York Tech have a rival? I'm not it. I don't even know.
Coach, so that's something also that's a little bit different because these kids didn't grow up through this program. Usually when you come up through a program, there's another program across the way that you're a rival with. So that's kind of like it's every game is the same for these guys.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm not super familiar with York Tech and their rivals and stuff. We have a lot of teams we play that are come about an hour, hour and a half. So, you know, like me for this year, I'm like, we're just focusing on James Buchanan.
Yeah. And that's I'll be there for that game. We're covering the entire weekend, PA football news. I'll be there all weekend. I don't know if either of these guys are going to be there. You guys plan on making the trip down to York? Either one of you?
I might make it on Saturday. I'm going to be
busy on
covering.
Friday.
I'm covering Hempfield on Friday.
Yeah, and you've got family stuff.
Yeah,
going on
I'm
this
not sure
weekend.
on this weekend, but I might want to tune in on
You're
the.
jonesing, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're jonesing, aren't you? You want to come down and watch some football.
Yeah.
And like when you guys, we weren't. I don't think you were here yet when we were talking about it, but York, York Tech had a tough year last year. Buchanan didn't have a great year last year, but getting that first win is important for you guys, right?
Yeah, it really sets the tone for the rest of the season. And like if you win that first game, then everybody has a better attitude usually as you go through the season, and then push to get the other wins.
Yeah. So, as a quarterback, what is your goal for the season?
My goal for the season is to make sure the team is still together. Because sometimes we'll be first 2-3 games, and we'll start breaking off into pieces. People will be over here, people will be over here. But I wanna make sure the team is all still one team after the first. We win some, we lose some, but this team is still together to even win some more. You know what I mean?
Were any of you starters last year on the team?
Yeah.
So you were starters. Were either of you on my show last year? Yeah. You guys were both. That's what I thought. I thought I recognized you. You were here.
I was here last year.
Yeah, and we did talk about the service scout. It's all coming back. We did talk about the service scoutings last year too. Yeah, we did. Because you were one of the guys I thought had a chance to move on and play some college football. But so it's good to see you again. Yeah, I thought I recognized you. But as far as personal goals, do you have any personal goals?
For the season?
Yeah.
For the season, at least for me, I want at least 500 rushing yards or more. I want at least 5 touchdowns or more. Those are my goals myself, so I'm pushing forward for those.
That's good. So, what's your favorite ice cream?
I'll probably go with chocolate. Chocolate ice cream.
Chocolate? I don't mind chocolate ice cream either. Yeah. So on a cone?
No.
Or in a dish?
On the dish.
In a dish. Okay. What's your favorite quarterback? What's your favorite amusement park to go to?
All right, Dorney Park.
Dorney Park? Not Hershey Park, huh? Jump in there, guys.
I've got a question for Coach here. So you said about your experience coaching in Maryland before. How does some of your game plans, some of things that you had going on at that experience in Maryland, how does that translate down to coaching here?
It's just, like I said, I've come from a high school that was always had a winning season, made playoffs, won a couple state championships, made state finals. So, like, my expectations of coming in here are high. Been doing this long enough. I know how to. I'm a very good film studier, scouting. I usually can pick up on tendencies. So we spend the week talking about tendencies and just trying to come up with game plans where I can get mismatches any way I can. And then to be honest with you, O-line and D-line is what drives the boat. in high school football, in any football. But high school football, if you have a good O-line, D-line, things usually work out good. So I put a lot of emphasis on O-line and D-line.
All right. For you guys, how has the transition from last year's head coach to this year's head coach been?
So, Coach Mathena has come in, and he has the very high standards for us, and his new offense. Obviously, the new offense is challenging to learn at first, but we're starting to get a hang of it. And then how it's changed. I feel like practice is going a lot more harder and like way higher expectations this year. And the whole feeling of it is just different.
How about you guys take over this
All right.
interview?
I've got another question for Coach here. So again, like I said before, coming into a new team here, you got a whole new roster that you're looking at, compared to what you used to have at other high schools, of course. What are you most looking forward to, whether it be on offensive side or defensive side of the ball?
Like defense, I'm looking for, are we going to swarm to the football? Are we just flying up? We've been working on tackling like crazy. So using the techniques in the game that we've been practicing in practice. Offensively, just sustaining drives. I mean, besides the big play, I like to control the ball. Try to, keep the ball away from the other team as much as possible. And to be honest with you, I'm still evaluating. I mean, we had a scrimmage, made some changes. Probably the biggest change for any team is usually between week 1 and week 2.
Okay.
So I'm hoping after week 1, I can, get a little more data and see who can really do what. And then, like I said, I'm still not sure we're all exactly where we're going to be coming into the year because of, trying to put kids where they're going to help us win the most.
All right, so that's kind of something that you're looking to do throughout the whole season, build relationships with guys.
Really evaluate, like I said, I'm just getting to know these young men. I mean, I've seen a lot, but game practice is one thing, game time's another. And, we're just going to take it week by week and see where we end up at the end of the year.
This is for all of you. What's your favorite part about football?
Favorite part? Defense and using your techniques to get past and then tackle the quarterback or the running back is my favorite part.
So you want to be a pilot. So obviously you study a lot and you have to be meticulous, right?
Yes.
Is that how you are on the field as well as in practice and going after and watching film?
Yeah, I look for the little things in film. During the game, I realize what I'll need to look for in film, and then I'll just watch each play multiple times closely to see what I did wrong and what I need to improve on. And then through the whole off season this year, I've done a bunch of extra work to get my technique and hand movements better in playing DN.
From the pilot.
Yeah, you can pass it down.
What was the question again?
Oh, what's your favorite part about football?
My favorite part about football, to me, is the adrenaline on both sides of the ball. No matter if I'm running it, if I'm going to go block somebody, or if I'm going to go hit somebody, or just I see a fumble. To me, I like the little boost of adrenaline. I like the aggressiveness of football. That's me.
My favorite thing to do in football is I love to hit. I've always been a defensive player, but me being on offense now is a good opportunity for me to get better at what I'm doing and what I got to get to and just put my best on the field.
Do you guys have a favorite NFL player?
I had to go with George Pickens for right now.
George Pickens?
My favorite NFL player, Barry Sanders.
Good choice.
Yeah. Mine's probably Patrick Mahomes.
That's twice we've heard that name tonight. Yeah. So that's good, yeah. So York Tech, big game coming up. We're excited to watch you guys play. Right now, I'm going to say thank you all for coming. Coach, it was great to meet you.
Oh, yes, and hopefully, like I said, we'll see you Friday evening at 5:30. It's on.
I'll be there early. I'll be there at 4 o'clock. We'll see you warming up for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for coming on the show again. I appreciate it. That's the York Tech Spartans here and their new head coach. Thanks for being on the State of PA Football.
Thank you.
We're going to send him out there to give him some pizza. And right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Lobby. Blue 5. Blue 5. Lobby. Blue 5. Blue 5. Hey. Blue 5. Blue 5.
My name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school or college, and you want to be safer, get in touch with safersports.com.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Sikorsky from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
The Cobalt Plus headset system delivers proven performance along with more users, more flexibility. That's why coaches across Pennsylvania trust Cobalt Plus. CoachCom makes tough headset systems for tough teams. We build headsets to help teams win. Call or click to learn more about Cobalt Plus from the proven leader in football communications.
And I was like, welcome back. We're here at Parma Pizza on Haynes Road. I want to thank Tony Sotasani for having us here. I love the pizza here. If you ever get to York and you're looking for something to eat, right now we got a bunch of football players out there eating down on some good pizza. Tony Sotasani, his wife is also a great supporter of high school football. She has to be. All coach wives are great supporters. But right now I want to take some time, and since we're getting rolling on the season, guys, we're going to roll down and thank a bunch of the sponsors who help us throughout the year to stay online for free. Everything we do at PA Football News is free. Everything. We don't charge for anything except for if we're selling some merchandise, we charge for that. But for the most part, everything is free. It's a very rare feat to do this year, so our sponsors are very important. Our sponsors are also going to help me pay you interns, so you get to make some money, and that usually doesn't happen. I usually don't pay interns, but we're doing so well, and our sponsors are being so kind and generous. I want to thank them all. So, Dan, if you'll just start rolling them down the screen, I'll start reading them off and thanking them one by one. Let's start off with McGurk's. While we have that here, we might as well make that announcement. McGurk's, next week we're going to be at McGurk's Pub doing our live show in Horsham, PA next week, so that's where the show's going to be from. Want to thank somebody who keeps us online and rolling in our rural area. It's very important. I don't get cable, so we have Center Wisp. They are a company that provides internet for us in our area. Circle W Sports. Everything you see on my website is because of Circle W Sports. He built our website. If you need a quality website built, you get a hold of Ed at Circle W Sports on circlewsports.com. One of our most loyal and long-standing sponsors is CoachCom. If you want to communicate on the sidelines, like many teams in PA do, and you want to do it well, get a hold of someone at CoachCom, and they'll help you out. One of our biggest sponsors this year and every year, we couldn't do what we do without the Funding Zone. The Funding Zone has a fundraising platform that is good for all sports, not just football. So if you're in another sport, you're a coach or you're an athletic director, and you want to raise some money, Pittsburgh Central Catholic raised $56,000 on the Blast program with the Funding Zone. That's a chunk of change that can buy you a lot of pizzas and a lot of equipment. I want to thank GoRoute. GoRoute is one of the great sponsors that we have. GoRoute is a system that you wear around your waist or working on something new. It's a great system to have for your practice and to make you faster. And you might want to look into GoRoute as soon as possible because there's grumblings on the road that it's about to become legal in college football that you can have communications from the sideline to the team. They also have a baseball app, so GoRoute.com. I want to thank Rainbow Lettering. Their screen printing is great. Their stores, they specialize in stores that have quick turnover. So Rainbow Lettering, I'm wearing a shirt from Rainbow Lettering right now. They do a great job. It's quality product. We've got a bunch of guys who have ordered and gotten their stuff and been very happy. Rainbow Lettering. I want to thank Two Birch Winery up in DuBois. They sponsor Phil Protime Myers. Protime does a couple articles, and Two Birch Winery does a great job. Another one of our biggest sponsors is Safer Sports. They help keep your kids safe. They created a helmet cover that helps with concussions, and you don't even know you're wearing it. You get it painted, and you're just like your helmet does. It comes in the color that you want. You get your logo on it. It looks just like your helmet. It snaps on. It's very easy, and nothing's more important than the safety of our players, right, guys? Yeah. Shoe Stacks Welding and Hydraulic Hose up in Shenandoah. I want to thank them for being a sponsor. I also want to thank Kevin James over at Sports Paradise. Kevin was down in Philadelphia with us when we did the the District 12 Media Day. Kevin was there with his products. He does a great job. He'll put your uniforms on your teams, whether you're soccer, football, lacrosse, baseball, basketball, softball, whatever your sport. If you need uniforms, you get a hold of Kevin. They also have some great deals right now with Gatorade, so check his store out. Get a hold of Kevin James. Want to thank Turf Tank for being a sponsor on our website. Turf Tank is a gold sponsor on our website as well as Safer and GoRoute and the Funding Zone. Want to thank them for being a part of it. Turf Tank, if you don't have time to line those fields, Turf Tank can do it for you. Just a push of a button. Want to thank my good friend Rob Oshinsky at Victory Sports and Fitness. Rob does a great job training. I know right now he's doing a good job with some of the guys up in State College, but you don't need to be a State College resident to get a hold of Rob. He'll travel to you. So if you need something, if you want your team to work out, get some speed training or get some workout training, get a hold of Rob Oshinsky at Victory Sports Fitness. That's our sponsor list for the year right now. We're working on a few more sponsors, and we're working on a few more places to take this show to. I can't wait to get there. Guys, big game hunting. Big game hunting. I put down a bunch of on the list. One of the games that interests me right off the bat is a District 12 and a District 1 team. Abraham Lincoln is hosting Downingtown West. That's a big game down there in southeast Pennsylvania. Any of these games we've got, Imani Christian and Steel High, what stands out to you guys on these games?
One big one, District 3 matchup, Cumberland Valley, Manheim Township. That's a rematch from a District 3 playoff game last year. And if anybody saw that game, it was dramatic. It came down to the last minute, and it was crazy.
I was wondering about the Dallastown and Hempfield one. Does that have any significance to you there?
Yeah, I mean,
where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from Hempfield. That's obviously our opener. It's a very up in the air season. We got some big returning seniors. We got David Polly, who's committed to USC, and then we have a returning senior quarterback who Jackson Landis. There's a lot on his shoulders. He's did a great job last year, but he had a lot of talent around him. So it's going to be interesting this year with some newer receivers. He has one returning, his favorite target actually, Micah Gates. So it's going to be an interesting game. I don't know a ton about Dallastown, to be honest, but from what I've heard from the guys, just talking to them in school, it's going to be a close one.
Okay. Billy, we talked about this game earlier. The Imani Christian Academy and York Suburban, that's one circled up there?
Steel High.
Yeah, Steel High.
Yeah, that's a big game. It's a huge game. We talked about that earlier. It's going to be great to see. Imani has some athletes. They're a young team, though. They are a very young team, so that's going to be interesting. Steel High guys, I've talked to some other guys, and I actually talked to some people who played against Jordan Hill. Jordan Hill, who was a Trinity coach, when he was at Steel High, and one of the coaches said, this team is better than the state champion team that Jordan Hill played for when they were at Steel High. This is a very talented Steel High team. They lost 7 kids, but they returned a ton of talent, and I think they're going to be really good. One of the games I'm looking at, I'm kind of interested, Lampeter Strasburg and Solanco in District 3. Solanco, as of late, has had some good years. Last year, they had a nice year. Lampeter Strasburg, always strong to Pioneers, very good. So that's going to be a tell right there in the Lancaster 11, and who's going to come out of that league. Another game that, right above the one you talked about, Central York and Central Dauphin. That's another big game for the York area. Jerry Onchek does a great job, and he's got some athletes he's real excited about this year, so we're going to see how that goes with them. Central Dauphin, Glenn McNamee, he's got a line that can probably play college football. Anthony Robsock, he's a Maryland commit, big guy. Evan Bushong is another big guy. They both are committed to play football. Bushong's committed to play at JMU, so that should be an interesting game. Central Dauphin had a rough year last year, but they should be back in the mid-pen. Let's talk about another one that I think is pretty big. I don't know. You guys are new, so we're trying to teach you guys around. Wilson Westlawn is at Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic's loaded with Division I athletes. Wilson is always good.
Yeah. I mean, Wilson, from what I've seen, obviously, growing up kind of in that area, I've seen them play quite a few times, and no matter who I watch them play, it's always a big game, especially against like Mifflin, But teams that go and play them, it's always a really tough test.
Yeah, Governor Mifflin is a team who, of course, a couple of years ago had one of the best running backs in the state.
Yep.
And then, you've got Nick Singleton as at Penn State, so I think they're still trying to find their post-Singleton identity at Governor.
Right.
They've had some great athletes there. I got to watch them play Pine Ridgeland out in Hollidaysburg in a state playoff game that went back and forth. It was just an incredible game. Another game I'm interested in, this is my area that I'm from, so I know this team, both these teams very well. Bishop Guilfoyle is at Bald Eagle area. This is going to be an interesting thing because this is a new LHAC. The Mountain League is no longer, so they are now in with the LHAC. So you have Bald Eagle area who we didn't rank them this year to start the season, but I think they're going to be a very strong contender this year in 2A football. And Bishop Guilfoyle, we know, is a contender. They've been to the state championship, so they're good every year. So that's going to be right out of the gates, probably a marquee game across the whole state right there. Bishop Guilfoyle at the Bald Eagle area. Another interesting game is Clareton, who we did put in our rankings. Westinghouse is at Clareton. Westinghouse, of course, was in the state championship game last year. So I think that's a very good game to watch. One other game that I think we have to talk about. IMG and St. Joe's Prep.
I was just gonna bring that one up actually.
Those are the big names.
I don't know a lot about St. Joseph's Prep. I mean, I see here the record is at 12-1. Is that last season what they went? Yeah. Okay. Well, IMG. I mean, that's always usually huge. They have so many like Division I commits usually on their team. It's always televised on ESPN. So you wonder going into the first weekend if what's going to happen between those two teams. A team like St. Joseph's Prep coming off a 12-1 year, and then IMG, of course, what IMG is.
And St. Joe's Prep returns almost everybody they had on that state championship team that throttled Harrisburg last year. So that's an interesting one there. Ocean City is where that's at. We have our Pro Time and Psychotic. That's his Twitter name. He's our photographer. They're going to be in Ocean City all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There is, I think, 12 games there this weekend that they're going to be covering for us. So watch at Psychotic, SYKOTYK on Twitter, and Pro Time as well on Twitter. They'll be giving you updates all weekend long. They got a couple of games they're going to be writing about. I think on Sunday, Commonwealth Egan is playing Holy Spirit. That's going to be another game that we're going to have a good write-up for. Up in District 2, there's an interesting matchup, guys. Old Forge, who is strong every year, they're on a little bit of a down year this year, but Dunmore, who is one of our top-ranked teams, Dunmore is going to be a strong team. Dan, are you ready with that? Wiggle that thing if you are. All right. Those are our big games. That's big game hunting this year. So let's wrap up the show, but first I want to talk about some of our rankings. Last year we didn't do preseason rankings. This year we decided as a team that we wanted to do preseason rankings. Every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, our rankings teams meets. I have guys all over the state of Pennsylvania that are on our staff. They do a great job. They know football. So last year I think we were at 70% in the top 10 last year. 70% of the teams that we picked last year to start the year finished in the top 10. Maybe not where they were, but they finished. So my crew knows what they're talking about. So we're going to jump right out. You mentioned it. 12-1 St. Joe's Prep in 6A at number 1. And number 2 in 6A, Central Catholic, Pittsburgh Central Catholic. They've got a new coach out there. They've got a lot of athletes. Guys, listen to this number. Coach told me that they have 120 players from 9th to 12th grade out on the team this year.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's a big school.
That is a huge squad. That's including 9th graders. So Central Catholic ranked 2nd, and their crosstown rivals, North Allegheny ranked 3rd, Garnet Valley, State College we have ranked 5th, Coatesville, Harrisburg, Central Bucks West, Nazareth, and there's Wilson right there, a team that you know very well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who the rankings in 6A are. We've got some honorable mentions. McDowell, always strong up in District 10. Parkland, and Downingtown East and Downingtown West and Seneca Valley. Hopefully we'll have somebody from Downingtown on the show next week. But I want to talk about Parkland, and I want to talk about Nazareth. They're in one of the – guys, you're going to get familiar with this. They are in one of the strongest leagues in the state. And so there's two leagues that I consider the strongest leagues in the state from top to bottom. One is the Commonwealth in the Mid-Penn that has Harrisburg, Cumberland Valley, Central Dauphin. The other is the EPC South. That's in the Allentown area. Parkland, Emmaus, Allentown Central Catholic, Bethlehem Catholic. They all just beat the living daylights out of each other. It's fun to watch. But 5A, our rankings, Pine Richland, Imhotep number 2. Imhotep, of course, was in the championship game last year, so was Cathedral Prep number 3. Cathedral Prep comes back loaded, guys, so I'm excited to see what they have. Cocalico, Westchester Ruston, Penn Hills, Delaware Valley, Strathaven, Roman Catholic right there. At number 9, of course, they play Wilson, who is the 10th ranked team in 6A, and Upper Dublin. Upper Dublin, he got hit by graduation pretty hard this year. Lost their top quarterback, but they're always good down there. Bethel Park, White Marsh, Whitehall. Whitehall had a surprise season last year. They surprised a lot of us. Malvern Prep and Gettysburg. In 4A, the returning champions, Bishop McDevitt. Aliquippa, you can't count out the Quips. They're strong every year. We have Thomas Jefferson, Allentown Central Catholic, Manheim Central. We talked about them earlier. Strong squad coming back this year. And being from where you're from, you're very.
They have a lot of depth at the O-line usually, right?
Yeah, they're big, they're strong, and they play some of the most physical football. I mean, in our area at least, when we get the chance to play them, it doesn't. I mean, at least in my experience, they're technically a smaller school, but they normally beat us pretty good. So, I think the last time we played them, I think we might have beat them, but I'm not 100% sure for that.
Yeah, they're a good team, very good team, Manheim Central. Another good, strong team out of District 1, Hope John Paul. They're going to be a really strong team. Of course, Jersey Shore, always strong. Tommy Gravish does a great job with Jersey Shore. Mars. The reason we have Mars in there is they had a decent season last year, but their head coach, Eric Kasparevich, he's been to the state championship with Pine Richland. He knows how to coach teams, and I think they're going to be a very good team. There's Lampeter Strasburg at number 10. And then up in District 10, we have Meadville, who's always strong. I expect them to run the table. They play Corey this week, and that'll be their toughest team until the end of the season. Selinsgrove, Central Valley, McKeesport, and one of the surprises this year, Twin Valley. I think Twin Valley is going to be good. Brett Myers, of course, is moved in to coach. He's going to do a good job there. At 3A, Bell Vernon, Newman Goretti. Why I'm missing? They just reload.
Yeah. I've grown up going to some of their games because all my cousins go to that school. So I've kind of grown up going to a lot of their football games. They just continue over and over again. It's like Alabama and Georgia. They're just reloading with players,
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch. Danville, I think Danville's going to have a really good season this year. The talk about their young quarterback is high. Something to watch out. Loyalsock, crosstown rivals, just over in Williamsport. Loyalsock, that was a good battle last year. I was at the first game, Danville and Loyalsock. What a great game that was. Up in District 10, Grove City. They returned everybody this year. Elizabeth Forward, always a strong contender out in District 7. North Schuylkill, Wally Hall does a great job in North Schuylkill. West Perry is going to be strong. They returned their three-headed monster this year, quarterback. And Goodland. Notre Dame Green Pond has a strong contingent back. Look for Notre Dame Green Pond and probably North Schuylkill to battle it out for a playoff spot. Northwestern Lehigh got hit hard by graduation, but when you have a great season like they did last year, your young guys get experience. So I expect them to be decent. Central Martinsburg, not sure on them. We're watching them. They lost everything. AJ Hohenstein, the quarterback. So we'll see what happens there with them. Lancaster Catholic, Scranton Prep, always good, and Hickory up in District 10. In 2A, you can't take them out of the rankings. You can't not say they're number 1. Southern Columbia. They're always there every year. Farrell, number 2, up in District 10. They're going to be a good squad. Trinity, there's that team we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Hill doing a great job there. Messiah Mickens just committed to Penn State.
Okay.
So they've got the Penn State connection going on there. Steel Valley out in District 7 is going to be a good team. Dunmore, I talked about them earlier. They are loaded. They should be good coming out of Scranton. Richland, Brandon Bailey always does a great job at Richland. Executive Education, they're in their 3rd year. They've already had a state playoff run.
Third year as a football program? Okay.
They've already had a state playoff game. Westinghouse, who was in the game last year, the big game, just waiting to see what they do. That's why we have them ranked low. You know, they lost a couple of players, but we'll see what happens with them. And we just found out they lost another big player. Beaver Falls and Central Clarion. Central Clarion returns everybody up in District 9. Berlin, always strong in District 5. McGuffey out in District 7 is looking like a good team. Mount Carmel, Bishop Guilfoyle, always strong. We have them ranked. And Schuylkill Haven. Go ahead, ask me why 2-6.
I was going to say, why are they ranked?
So we talked to Coach Mike Farr at our coaches cookout, and he just looked at me and he said, if you ain't looking at my team, you don't know what I have. And Mike Farr is not a coach that'll brag at all. So when Mike Farr says to me, you don't know what I have, and I know they lost some games close, they made some mistakes last year, but I think they're going to be a good team. They're a team to watch for sure.
So you think they can have a big turnaround from 2-8?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do. I think they're going to be very good. They may actually be a year away. He started, I think he said 7 freshmen last year, and now he's starting 8 sophomores this year.
Okay.
So they're a year away. In single A, Steel High, of course, the Rollers. You know, we talked about them earlier. Canevin out in District 7. Canton, always strong. Canton up in District 4. Union, who played Steel High in the championship game, lost a few players as well. Want to see what they do this year. Northern Bedford, strong team. Gary Black has a team coming back. Muncie, Fort Cherry, the Matt Sig effect. Good quarterback, Brockway. Lackawanna Trail up in District 2 has a very experienced team coming back. And Lakeview in District 10 is going to surprise some people. Even though they were 6-5 last year, I think they're going to be a surprise. And the honorable mentions, we could have like a whole list of them, but we got Minersville. Clairton, I think, is back this year. I think they're going to be strong. Tri-Valley, Port Allegheny, and Northern Lehigh is going to be, that rounds out our rankings.
That
rounds out our show, guys.
I had a quick question at the end of the rankings here. The last 3 teams are 10-2, 12-1, and 12-2. How are they honorable mentions at the bottom there? Just wondering.
They got hit by graduation pretty
Okay.
hard. Tri-Valley lost a lot of their players. Port Allegheny lost almost their whole team last year. And Northern Lehigh, same thing. They lost a whole pile of players. So we take all that into effect when we do our rankings. But guys, thanks for being on the show tonight.
Of course.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to PA Football News. I bet you guys are real excited to get going here.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so excited.
I am too. I'm excited to watch these guys learn and grow. If you're interested in being on an intern with PA Football News, we do internships. We've got 15 or 16 people who are in the media and journalism field right now that used to be interns with us. We like to say that we did help them along the way and help them pick their choice. I know Tristan Kleinfelder will tell you that at WTAJ, as well as some of the other guys. Brock is over at WJAC in Johnstown, and they went right on the air. We've got guys all over the place. Our Nathan, good luck to him. He's up in Minnesota right now doing his thing. So this has been the State of PA Football. We are PAFootballNews.com. We'll see you next week at Horsham at McGurk's Pub. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the season.
At PAFootballNews.com, we've got you covered. If you're looking for the best coverage of high school football in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, check out PAFootballNews.com. From schedules to rankings, game coverage to Friday night scoreboard, live streams, and more, PA Football News is the one-stop shop for everything high school football in Pennsylvania. Follow us on Twitter at PA Football News and visit us at PAFootballNews.com. We got you covered.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Sikorsky from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
The Cobalt Plus headset system delivers proven performance along with more users, more flexibility. That's why coaches across Pennsylvania trust Cobalt Plus. CoachCom makes tough headset systems for tough teams. We build headsets to help teams win. Call or click to learn more about Cobalt Plus from the proven leader in football communications.
name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school or college, and you want to be safer, get in touch at safersports.com.
Go route. It's been phenomenal. I think just the ability when you got guys from all over the state and everyone's got things going on and trying to get organized and practice. Taking the language out of the offense and just giving these guys the ability to just go and learn on the fly from it. It's my first experience ever with it, and it's phenomenal. I would certainly use it.
Today's broadcast of the 38th Annual Lesser Lumber Classic is being brought to you by Snappy's Convenience Store and J.J. Powell Home and Commercial Heating and Supplies. Snappy's is a locally owned chain of convenience stores throughout central Pennsylvania, operating 12 locations from Lewistown to Clearfield and beyond. J.J. Powell has been servicing customers in the Clearfield Center and Mifflin counties for over 70 years. Snappy's has a large selection of freshly prepared food and drinks guaranteed to satisfy your mealtime needs. J.J. Powell offers the area's best heating oil price protection program with monthly payments and no cap or fees.